Hello there, everyone. Welcome to another Italian pronunciation video, this time for the aria Pace Pace Mio Dio. This video is brought to you by a generous donation from AM from the great state of Hawaii. So I appreciate that very, very much. In this aria, we will explore some ideas to help you get started on singing more precise Italian and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and some hidden non-written Italian pronunciation code, such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. If you're new to that, by the end of this video, you should have a pretty firm grasp about what I'm talking about phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You'll find the text all written out in my format with just show you the non-phonetic things. I assume you have a pretty decent grasp of the basic rules of Italian pronunciation. Also, you'll see some links to my websites. Check them out, my Facebook fan page. There's also Patreon. You know the drill. You can visit those various sponsoring sites and check out my web pages. So what we will do first is we'll read through the entire text and then we'll break it down word by word. So here is the full reading of the text. Pace, pace, mio Dio. Cruda sventura, ma stringe ahimè a llaŋguir, come il di primo, da tant'anni dura, profondo il mio soffrir. L'amai llaŋguir, ma di beltà e valore, Cotanto Iddio l'ornò. Che l'amo aŋcor, né togliermi dal core l'immagine sua saprò. Fatalità, fatalità, fatalità. Un delitto disgiunti qquaggiù. Alvaro io t'amo, e su nel cielo è scritto, non ti vedrò mai più. O Dio, fa ch'io muoia, che la calma può darmi morte sol. Invan la pace qui sperò ququest'alma, in preda a tanto duol. Misero pane, a prolungarmi vieni la sconsolata vita. Ma chi giunge? Chi profanare ardisce il sacro loco? Maledizione. Okay. So pretty bad. There's a lot of bad luck in this opera. So if you're a little superstitious, I just want to let you know that this is considered as bad luck as the Scottish play is for English speakers. So for Italians, La Forza del Destino is very, very bad luck, and there have been a bunch of coincidental things happening at the Metropolitan Opera when they have performed this opera. People jumping off of balconies, people dying on stage. So look both ways before you cross the street if you study this aria. All right, so now let's do word by word. Okay, so we have. The first mistake you can make is in the first word is to double the C, right? So I often hear pace. See, so in order to get to not double it, you want to elongate the pace, right? So the continues all the way in, right? The other mistake, of course, would be to have the glide as we have in English on the A, right? So a lot of people would say pace, and that's achieved by moving your mouth, right? So you do not want that, right? You want che, right? The other thing is that E's and O's can either be what's called open or closed. Sometimes you say big or small, right? All of these have some sort of bad connotation when you translate them over into vocal technique. One is not bigger or smaller or more open or closed than the other, right? So it's possible to sing with very good technique both, right? So what people do when singing is they tend to stretch the one that's called closed. Okay, so closed E is A, like hey, right? Open E is like head in English. Both of those are without glide, right? So if you think for the closed E, hey, right? Open, right? You can open it up, right? You can make it more vertical. And for the closed O, Joe, right? So you're not Joe, you're not squeezing on it, right? So closed O is like the O in Joe. Open O is like saw, I saw, right? I saw a putty cat, right? Or awe, isn't it too bad? Or I'm awestruck, right? So that's the open O. The open O is also an IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, is a broken circle, and then closed O is just the way we see it in the printing. Open E is the rounded edges E, and closed E is with a small e. Another way of writing it is like just like in French with accent grave, right? So like right? You make accent grave. So the top of the accent goes towards the left. The top of the accent goes towards the right. It's closed E. You can mark it that way also if you don't want to do phonetic alphabet. And the same for closed O and open O. Okay. Next word is mio. So on the word for my, sometimes the semivowel is pronounced. The I is considered a semivowel, so you'll see it over one note. However, you have to sing two notes. Mio. Right, so there'll be an invisible grace note that you have to add, and notice that the E gets the most of the time, right? Mio, also Dio. So those two words rhyme. According to Evelina Colorni, who wrote this book, Singer's Italian, the word Dio is always doubled. There's always a double D, right? So now, everyday Italian speakers will find it to be very overly dramatic to double this D, but we're in opera and we paint with broad strokes, and you're singing in the U.S. in a 4,000 seat house, so the word Dio can be doubled, right? Just as if you would paint your eyebrows on makeup, you make them way bigger so that they're seen from the audience. So mio Dio, right? See, you don't want to overdo anything. And of course, I always encourage people to listen to many different singers, listen to at least 20 different singers, and you'll hear all these different doublings done all different ways. And if a person is famous, there's a reason why that person became famous by their combination of vocal technique, stage prowess, musicality, and the ability to do these things and do them very, very elegantly. Let's go on. Cruda. So the mistake that can be made in this is that you don't roll the R properly, right? So this is a rolled R because the R touches a consonant, right? So R's that touch consonants in any way are r, right? Not only that, they never go to an English position. I see lots of people singing and they go krrr, and they roll properly, but they either begin or they end with that low. There's never that position. It starts here, and it starts in the space of the vowel you're about to sing. So you're going to say crudo, right? The other thing in this is that the K for singing has to be put more towards voiced, right? So if you think about all your consonants in pairs, voiced and unvoiced. So the voiced cousin to K is G, right? So if you thought first to sing grudo, crudo, right? So you start from that same spot. Your K is just as explosive as it was before, but it's not crudo. You don't want that one. Not only is that bad because it'll blast air through your vocal cords, put your vocal cords apart, right? But it also doesn't sound so beautiful, and it's not idiomatically sounding Italian. Okay, so the other thing now in this word is double D versus single D. So people will sing Cruda. That's double D, and that's incorrect, right? So again, Cruda. So the longer, I'm exaggerating the how long the U is, but that's the way to practice to get rid of it. Keep the U long, and then just don't stop phonation for the D. I can demonstrate double D as where you have a stoppage. Cruda. So your vocal cords stop before you make that D. That makes a double D. So you do not want that in this case. Next, sventura. Now, I'm exaggerating the closed quality of the E to demonstrate something that all unstressed and spoken are closed. You will hear singers from the 50s, 40s, and the 50s opening. There was a convention of opening the closed vowels, right? So the endings, you like Mario del Monaco, Tebaldi come to mind, right? However, the intent of those vowels was always closed, right? So if you're opening them for vocal reasons, speak them closed, because that's a better way. It has more inertia, right? I'll elaborate on this even more, right? So say I see this in a textbook and it's written with an open E because we're following the convention of opening all the closed. So now I start as a non-Italian speaker, which is very bad, sventura, right? It has no forward motion. Now a speaker is already saying every day sventura, you understand? And it moves forward, right? So if that's opened a bit, sventura, as you get more towards the open, the intent is still closed. I hope that that explains it better. You can leave me comments about this phenomenon. Okay, going on. Oh, one more thing in this word. The R, here's a good example of a flipped R, right? So it's not sventura, right? Sventura. So those of you who speak Spanish, this tends to happen a lot in Spanish. It does not happen in Italian. There's a single R, there's a double R. Okay, going on. Ma stringe. Now, S in a theater is very, very ugly, right? So you don't want to hiss. Ma stringe. We also want to tell you about another series of videos I'm doing with the most fabulous Elena Villa, who's a coach from Milan, and we talk about all of these things. It's called my Nuance series. You can also check her out on her channel. It's just Elena Villa, ELENA where we talk about all this. And she came up yesterday. We made a video, and she was talking about how it just reminds people of a snake if you hiss, right? Mas, you don't want to do that. So here's the thing: when you speak mas stringe, you can kind of hiss on that S, but when you sing, you have to exaggerate how long the ah is. Ma stringe. So you bring the S in at the end. So the N is what the Italians call a nasalization, right? So ma stringe. So what I think of it as, for us as non-native speakers, you have to think of the N as just being double, right? So it's going to go where the G is about to be, and it's long, and it actually has pitch. Ma stringe. Notice that the GE is a soft G because of the vowels. There are soft vowels and there are hard vowels. So it's the vowel that makes the G hard or soft. So for soft vowels, you need the H to make it. So E, A, and E are the soft vowels. So it would be J and G. And to make it hard, to make it gay, it's GHE. To make it G, it's GHI. Going on, ahimɛ, right? So when you sing, you're singing very slower than speech. So you have to get all of these vowels. So it's ah, e, ahimɛ. Okay, and then on top of that, you have llaŋguir. So you have a nasalized N going into the guire with the middle of the tongue. Llaŋguir. llaŋguir. I did it very, very slowly, right? Not only that, you have to get all of the u, you have to get all of the e. So all of this together makes this incredible going round and round and round and round in your flesh. Ahimɛ llaŋguir. And this all happens in the allotted time. So it's a lot faster as you're singing ahimɛ llaŋguir. So all together, you have to get all of those things. Notice that also final R is rolled. Okay, going on. Come, closed O, closed D. Il di. So the word di is an old-fashioned word for day. It's a poetic word. Today, everybody says giorno, right? So don't go around, if you're in Italy, saying buon di to people. They will laugh at you, right? However, there's a phenomenon that happens. There are strong monosyllables and weak monosyllables. I've addressed this in another video. It's basically from Evelina Colorni's book, Singer's Italian. You can check out, I have a link in the description. It's called All About Phrasal Doubling. So Evelina Colorni noted that there were strong monosyllables and weak monosyllables, a one-syllable word. Some monosyllables in Italian caused a doubling. So cause the next word, if it starts with a consonant, to double. So it's very, very important to distinguish from the preposition of, which is spelled di without an accent, in the word poetic for di, which means day, with an accent, which causes phrasal doubling. So you would say come il di primo. Notice how small the double P is. You don't want to exaggerate. It will sound vulgar if you go come il di primo and you just stop so much, right? So again, listen to great singers of Italian and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So primo has a single M, right? So there are phonating nasal doubles in Italian, like M, L, and N, right? So double N is anno. So we continue the phonation, right? If I did double M, right? Somma, right? Double M, right? So if I made a double M in primo, see, that's wrong. You've heard that a lot. So you want, again, to elongate the I and don't have any phonation when your lips come together for the M. Primo, right? Of course you have phonation, but it's a millisecond, right? Primo. Okay, is that understood? So let's go on. Ttant'anni dura, right? So the word da causes a phrasal doubling. So let's talk about double T. Double T is different than double L, double N, double M because it's caused by stopping phonation, not by doing two T's. So you don't do two T's, you just go up to the T and then you stop. Tutto. Okay, you see, I don't say tutto, right? I don't do two T's, right? Also, you'll hear coaches say to you to shorten the oo. Yes, that's correct. However, it's dangerous because if you shorten the oo, then you're stuck kind of holding the bag. You know, you have egg on your face with nothing to do. So you want the oo to be very long and you have to have split-second timing and then just stop. Tutto. So when you're singing ttant'anni, right, that double T has to come in right at the right time, and the has to be long. Okay? Anni is a very dangerous word if you don't double the N, because it means something else, right? So double N in this word means years, right? You're talking about hard years, right? Instead of hard anuses, right? So anni with one N, it means something else, right? So dura, again, there's one R. Okay, going on. Profondo. Okay, we've covered all this. It's closed O's and a nasalized N into the D. Il mio. Here's the thing, right? A lot of singers get lazy with their tongue and they will sing il mio. They'll put what's called a shadow vowel in. It caused with the release of the tongue from the L. Don't do that, right? So here's the thing, il mio. So you have two consonants in a row, right? So make sure you have a smooth transition. Soffrir. So the F is not too much. In singing, it's still there. Soffrir. Notice that all the R's are rolled. Final R's rolled if it ends a sentence. Going on. This is a good word for getting all of the vowels, because you have to have e, right? So you can practice that way. Separate the vowels first. E. Be careful, no big strokes of the glottis, right? You don't want right? E. And then you connect. E, right? So when you have two A's, you have to imagine the second right? And then mai. So it's very generous, especially overly generous for singing. The next word is very difficult for non-native speakers. You have li. So you can practice it backwards. So at the end of the word, you have yi, yi, right? Before that, you're preceded with a nasalized L, a double L. Yi, yi, yi. Now, to compound that, you have to go to an a, right? Because the word for is open. The word for and is closed, a, right? And, open. Vver, right? Now, I just exaggerated everything, right? You're not going to make that big of a difference. And when you hear native speakers speaking, there is not that big a difference. However, it is different. Okay, so one thing is open, one thing is closed. So, vver, right? Notice that there's a slight double V, and there are double consonants in Italian that do not stop phonation. Double B comes to mind and double V comes to mind, right? And non-native singers, they find out that there's a doubling there, and then they do it to the max, and it becomes too much, right? So you really cannot exaggerate that, right? You hear all the time, o mio babbino, right? With so much double B, not right, right? You want babbino without a stop, right? Liever. See, it's just enough to trip up. Liever, not liever. You don't want that. Okay, going on. So here we have the word of, right? And I hear a lot people doubling after of because they do this gratuitous doubling that takes the place of expression. So you hear people saying ma di bel. No, don't do that, right? If anything, after the word ma is a strong doubling word. Ma di beltà. But you see, it's on the way to the of beltà, so you don't want to double too much. You don't want to do ma di, right? Ma di beltà, right? It goes forward. So notice that beltade is the whole word. So anything that has a truncated was had the Latin ending, the Latinized ending. The old form of the word is de, right? Beltade, right? Beauty. Cittade, city. In modern Italian, it becomes città. Pietade, pity. Pietà, right? So you have the truncated at the end. So the accent is on the last syllable, ultimate accent, right? So these words, those truncated words, if they're followed by a consonant, they actually double the next syllable, right? So if beltà came before a word that started with a consonant, you have a doubling. Also, future tense like saprɔ, those ones that end with an open O will cause a phrasal doubling. So going on, you have vvalore. See, notice I'm exaggerating the double V, but there's a slight double V there, right? Valore. There's a closed O before the R. Okay, going on. Cotanto, nothing new in that word. Iddio. So here we go, right? Where you have a spelling that's phonetic for the way people would double D, right? Like the word addio, right? People used to just spell it. You'll see it in old books. You see it in old libretto. Addio, just with one D. Everybody said addio, doubled it, and then became spelled addio, right? Same thing with this, iddio. So here's your proof that there are phrasal doublings, right? Going on, lorno, lorno. I should have worn my glasses for this. I'm having a hard time seeing my text, so I keep going close to the camera. Lorno. Okay, going on. The word K is a strong monosyllable, so it doubles the L. Now, if you want to hone in on this and memorize, it's easy to memorize the ones that don't. And there's a short list in ttɔgliermi's book of the ones that don't, like li, lo, la, le. They're about 7 or 8. Right? I'm not going to have them off the top of my head. I have addressed it in my video all about phrasal doubling, so check it out. So, che l'amo, see, double L. Ancora is the full word, and in this case, it's aŋcor, right? If you accent the first it becomes the word for anchor, ancora, right? So you don't want to do that. Aŋcor, right? Closed O, rolled R. Ttɔgliermi, right? So the O in this case is open, right? We would like to close it as non-native speakers, right? Ttɔgliermi. Notice that you also have to take care to roll the R. Dal cɔre, cɔre, heart, right? Americans especially tend to close this, and it sounds like the word, I don't want to really say it, but it sounds like a part of the anatomy that's behind you, right? If you close it too much. So make sure. Cɔre. I used to remember being in Italy and watching the Italians line up for the American singers, waiting as if they were, there was a fresh kill coming, to hear all the pronunciations the wrong way. So cɔre. Also, don't say corre. Don't roll the R. L'immagine. See how we do the M? You have to phonate it. L'immagine. Sua is like mio, where the semivowel is long. Sua. At the end, right? A lot of Americans especially will sing sua, right? There's no in Italian. Saprɔ, right? I'm exaggerating the O. It is open. Saprɔ. Fatalità. So here we have a word with a truncation at the end, right? So it will cause a doubling, right? Now, this is a very dramatic reading that Verdi gives you, so you might be able to double every single F, right? Especially listen to like Magda Olivero or Maria Callas, people who really do lots of phrasal doublings. You'll hear it, and they have this very musical sense about doing it. So, but maybe listen first, gather all the evidence, and then make it your own, right? So you could say Fatalità, Fatalità. You see, it's done with the space, and especially in the time of the singing, the way Verdi lays it out for you, you can do it with the space. So you go up to the F and you don't say it, right? And it makes it very, very dramatic. Going on, un delitto. So here's your double T, delitto. Go up to the T, don't say it, and then you have your double T. Disgiunti. A lot of coaches would advocate for voicing unvoiced S's, right? So as you sing disgiunti, it's not the word, but you could do that, right? Not the word for to have, or it has, he has, she has. It causes a phrasal doubling. So na qquaggiù, see, qquaggiù, qquaggiù. Notice the double G also. Qquaggiù, na qquaggiù. Okay, going on. Alvaro, not Allah, Alvaro, right? Io. So the word for I, right? Often you'll see io on one note, or with a whole bunch of other vowels on one note, and you have to make extra notes, right? Io, so that the E gets everything. Tamo, not tammo, you hear all the time. t'amo. Right? So Alvaro, io t'amo. Lots of vowel in this one, and especially exaggerated for singing. Okay, now in this one you can say it two different ways because you have two strong monosyllables in a row, right? So the word a is a strong monosyllable, the word su is a strong monosyllable, so you could double the s, e su nel cielo, right? E su nel cielo. Also, I could do the n. I think the n is more attractive, especially you don't want to do the s. The s isn't as nice, right? Cielo. Right? So often you hear the instrument ciɛlo, ciɛlo, even from Italians, ciɛlo, right? So you want single L. Scritto, double S. Scritto, because the word is a strong monosyllable. Scritto, double T. We already know how to do that. Non ti vedrò mai più. So here we have an ultimate stress causing a phrasal doubling. So the word vedrò makes it double M, right? Non ti vedrò mai più. And again, I warn you very strongly to not overdo this, right? Anything that's not natural. Another conversation I had with Elena is that she at first was saying that these things don't even exist. And she's saying, well, I do them and I don't realize I do them, which is a very important revelation because it's something that's very natural. And one time a speaker will do it one way, and another time will do it another way. So now you are affecting something that is naturally done by a native speaker. So it's very easy to sound affected, right? So if you overdo it and it doesn't sound natural, it is not good. Okay, so non ti vedrò mai più. We want to do that, right? Oddio, double D, right? Now this is very dramatic, this aria, so you can get away with more than usual, right? On the double D. He's putting tons of strong monosyllables. Fa is a strong monosyllable, so notice that the K of qch'io gets doubled. Right? Fa qch'io muoia. U, a, e, a. So now we have a silent semivowel. It's just there to make a glide. However, it comes from the E position, right? So you have to go all the way, not from the American Y position. I will elaborate further. If we say yellow, as an American, we say it down here, the Y of yellow, yellow, right? Yes. An Italian will say yes from the E. E, yes. So when you're thinking about the semivowel, which is the J in IPA, muoia, right? U, a, e, a. Okay, now that's very exaggerated, but if you start from there, when you have to do it fast, you will get most of it. Muoia. Okay, very bad word, right? So make it that I would die, right? And going on. Che la calma. Notice that K is a strong monosyllable. So this is all about L, right? Che la calma. So calma also has that nasalized L. Può darmi. So notice that also the O makes the double D. Può darmi. On the R. Morte, lots of death and dying. This is why this is so bad luck. Morte, sol, close the O. Invan la pace. Okay, so here is an assimilation. So before fricatives, right? This is in a Nico Castell book where Nico attempts to explain this. Before a V, we're going to say van. So if you look at a fricative, right, your bottom lip is going to make the V, or an F, fatto, right, infatto. So the N assimilates, infatto, right? So you nasalize the N first, and then you make it with the bottom lip. So it's as smooth as possible. It does not go infatto. You don't do it with the tip of the tongue. Infatto. You do it while your lip hits your top teeth. Okay? I'll do it in very slow motion. Infatto, right? Now, if you were to do that in singing, you would get caught doing it and it's too long, right? It has to be done in a split second. You nasalize the N, your bottom lip smoothly transitions to the V or the F, right? You can practice. Inferno. We even do this when if we say in fact, we say it so fast in English that there's an assimilation of the lip. You didn't even notice you did that when you spoke, right? So, invan, right? One of the hardest things to master for a non-native speaker is that sound. Okay, so la is a weak monosyllable, so do not sing double P in this case. Like la pace, no. La pace. Qui is a strong monosyllable. Qui spero, ququest'alma. Notice that it's a, spero, and that's where the accent is. Qui spero, ququest'alma. And this is very hard to coordinate with your accompaniment because you're doing these 2 against 3s that may not have been done in Verdi's day, right? They might have stylized them to be triplets, right? But qui spero, ququest'alma. It's laid out very nicely. The way he has set this against you and the harp, right? Notice that qui doubles the S and the O of spero doubles the Q. So ququest'alma. Very important to not sing the S too early. Quest'alma, right? Quest'alma, right? It's very important if you're a German speaker, right? To elongate this. Going on. Here's a second assimilation. So before B and P, where your lips come together, and M, right? An N will turn into another M. In mano, right? Notice that. I nasalize the N, my lips come together. I don't say in mano with the shadow vowel. I don't emphasize the tip of my tongue. In mano, wrong, right? In mano. So it's all done together. So imprada, right now. If I slow it way down, it seems way too much. So it goes by faster than that. But you can practice just making an M. It's a single M. In mano, imprada. Okay, you understand? Going on. The word is a strong monosyllable. Tanto. Right? Very dramatic too. Tanto. You go up to the T, you don't say it. Dual, open O. Misero pane. The accent is on the E, right? Anti-penultimate syllable. Misero pane. A prolungarmi. So this is a long word, right? You have a double P because of the strong A. You have a rolled R. You have a nasalized N, and you have a single M, right? So a prolungarmi. You also have a single L. Lots of mistakes. I can hear 5 mistakes in this word. You could double the L, you could double the M, right? Like this. A prolungarmi, right? Wrong, right? So lots of things you can do wrong. You could not roll the R, right? So you have to take care with this word. R, right? You can do one sound at a time. A, pr, right? A, pro, llaŋguir. You could do all kinds of ways, right? Anything you practice slowly, you can do fast. Going on, vieni. So this is an open E. A lot of stressed E's that follow an E semivowel are open. There are a few exceptions, right? But this one follows it. Vieni, right? So what happens when an American opens a vowel? You want to double a consonant, right? Vieni. No, wrong, right? Vieni. So you have to make sure you keep that, keep going, right? La sconsolata vita. So la is this weak monosyllable. Sconsolata, right? lots of single consonants. Sconsolata. The N, however, is nasalized, right? Sconsolata. Vita. So, now, ma chi giunge. You could either sing ma chi giunge or ma chi giunge. You could do double G. I like the C better, right? Ma chi giunge. So the word the reason is ma is a strong monosyllable. Chi is a strong monosyllable. So you could have a double G or double K. Giunge. Notice that the N goes into the G. The word chi is a doubling word. Chi profanare. Profanare. Chi profanare. Notice the R is flipped. Ardisce. Now, for non-native speakers, you have to think of the she as a double consonant, right? Because Italians will separate it more. Ardisce. You understand? She. Ardisce. And especially in singing, you must do that. Il sacro. This is all things we've already covered, right? The R's rolled. Loco. Careful, right? You don't want to sing loco, double K. Loco. You keep the A going. Maledizione. So here's an interesting phenomenon. When you speak, you can double this TZ becomes kind of doubled. Maledizione, dizione, dizione. You see that, right? But for singing, it becomes very ugly. So you have to go dizione. You have to elongate the E. Maledizione, maledizione. Right now, I'm cursing everybody. Right? So that's it. That's the whole thing. Wow. Well, this video is going on for a good 41 minutes, but we have plenty of word salads to cover. So you've made it to another video. You know the drill. Please like, please share. Sharing really helps the YouTube algorithm. Please feel free to comment, and I hope this video helped you. Thank you very much for watching. See you at the opera.